Hello, welcome back to the Doctor Who The Eternity Clock Part 3. And in this part, we're doing some stuff. Oh, this is the part with the Cybermen. Yes, so many different eras of London, each era with a different threat to face. And present day London has the Cybermen to deal with.
What seems to be the problem this time?
The other woman, being the TARDIS, the Doctor's one true love. That's the trouble with these romantic companions. We see the new series with Rose and River. Is that if I know they're not going to last, then he's not going to settle down and marry someone. So they just end up being these sort of casual flings here now and again. All I was saying that with the Doctor, he did start the series travelling with his granddaughter. And what I find interesting about that is you probably come up with your own explanations, but the most obvious is probably the most interesting one. And that's that he was probably married on Gallifrey, with like a wife and kids and maybe some children. I heard of a fan once, and there's no evidence for this in the show, but he once claimed that the Doctor's family were destroyed on Gallifrey through an accident, and the tunnels didn't allow him to resurrect them through the rules of time. And I thought to myself, there's no evidence for this, but in a weird way, it does make sense. It does make sense why he would want to leave Gallifrey, or why he would resent or fear the Time Lords, and also why Susan would be presumably the last member of his family left. Yeah, not now. I'm collecting page diaries. Riv, if you kept your diary in order, this wouldn't be in a show. Anyway, River. This does have cooperative gameplay usually, but because I'm forever alone / strongly independent, I'm willing to play this game all by my lonesome. Oh jeez. Well, I'm falling over. Ugh. I need to get a new chair. But anyway, here's one of the most cooperative, the most overused aspects of cooperative gameplay, and that's to have the switch you and your potential playmate would have to press at the same time. Now, when you change difficulty, it only changes the puzzle difficulty. Other than that, you get these checkpoints, you see, and it works out fairly well. And I'm being careful here because here we are, the Cybermen. Let me see, tried a bit of trivia. I think they were last seen in the classic series in, let me see, the Silver Nemesis, or Silver Nemesis, as it's called. And they were introduced in Age of Steel / Rise of the Cybermen. Of course, they were originally introduced in the 10th Planet. Back in the Hartnell's last story. But anyway, the point is, this enemy, they're very much like the Borg. In fact, if original Star Trek had the Borg, I'm pretty sure they would look like the Cybermen in the 60s. But anyway, that's the point of them. They're human beings who have been upgraded or converted into these Cybermen. So sort of like the Borg, but more human-centric. Well, I was saying that the last time they appeared in the new series in Nightmare in Silver, I'm thinking of that appearance. They established that they don't just convert human flesh, which I don't know. It's like they're copying the Borg. It's like the Borg copied the Cybermen. Now the Cybermen are copying the Borg. And honestly, about the Cybermen, how they've been used in the more recent stories is, I think they've made them a bit too powerful. They can fly. They can upgrade any weakness. Makes me wonder how we can even defeat them. mean, well, I suppose the Doctor could always find a way to defeat them, but just they're so overpowered now. They can fly. They've got super speed. And although granted, I do like their new design over this serious Cybermen, because it's I guess the latest ones, they look slightly more organic. Yeah, more stealth mode. The Cybermen, a very classic enemy of the Doctor. You know, this section here might seem a bit tricky at first, but it's fairly simple. You just dodge and wait until you can run past them. And might I say, the Cybermen here have ridiculously big weapons. It's quite cartoony, in a sense. Must announce plans out loud. I haven't had a chance to play this cooperatively, but I suppose it would be shorter for a start.
Data download complete. Processing information.
Stomp, stomp, stomp. You know, that's the thing I will say about these new Cybermen, is that if they're coming after you, they give you lots of forewarning, but they're constant stomping.
Humanoid sighted. Resume your patrol. Area secure. Continue patrol.
Yeah, another hat. You know, this whole Cybermen in the underground, it's possibly a reference to the invasion, which is an old Second Doctor story. Something really sad about the Second Doctor is that most of his stories are now lost. It's something to do with the BBC archives. They just didn't take care of their shows properly. I think during the 70s they sort of burnt... Yeah, seriously, they burnt footage of the TV shows they had. I suppose to make room or something. Anyway, it's a long story, but essentially a lot of the first two Doctor's adventures have been lost. Presumably forever. Well, I would say that, but during the 50th year, we did find a bit of the Web of Fear and also Enemy of the World. So it seems like it's never too late, but unfortunately as time goes on, it's less and less likely that we'll find these old stories again. But, you know, at least there's animations, and reconstructions of these old stories. Because for various reasons, we still have all the audio. And that's because before DVDs and Blu-rays, people recorded the audio straight from the TV. So, yeah, at least we have the audio from all these old lost stories. And through those, there's been CD reconstructions with narrations by different actors. And there's been animations to accompany them as well, and also production stills. You know, people have, Loose Cannon, this a production company, I want to say, but they're probably amateurs. I've forgotten. But they've taken all these old pictures and the original audio and sort of created these reconstructions. And it's really good on them. And also, there have been professional animation companies that were released on the DVDs of the old stories. Which, it's not as good as the real thing, of course, but it's a fairly good substitute. I think it shows the affection the fans have for these old stories, if they're willing to reconstruct them as best they can. And at this point, I thought to myself, I can't get through there without taking any damage, so I just ran for it near the end. And it is, I found in that section the Cybermen sort of overlap each other, so it's fairly tricky to not go through there without taking a hit. So near the end I just thought, F it, I'll run for it. I'll just get up there. Now, something I haven't talked about is your AI partner. And if you're playing a single player, your partner will be controlled by this computer system or whatever. And I'd say nearly half the time it works really well. But you can get in really awkward situations where your AR partner is running back and forth, or it's trapped in a box.
Hiding inside of it is boring people who work in boring offices. It's boring, and I prefer the view from up here anyway.
Oh, Doctor, you incredible man-child. Oh, and I talked about running past the Cybermen. You can see here at certain checkpoints you get a health refilled checkpoint. So it's just, yeah, it's fairly easy. Don't even need to take it that
Yes, this is
much harder.
the underground. Change here for the Northern Line mainline services and the Yeti slaves of the Great Intelligence.
Oh, reference to the classic Who, take a drink.
Tunnel sound exotic.
Oh, this section here is quite interesting. And the very first time you do it, you'll die a lot. Anyway, coming up now is a running sequence where we have to run down this path of Cybermen and activate puzzles as we go. Come on, River, I'll give you a boost. River... Oh no, they're slowly going to get us.
Cybermen.
Basically,
They're running 3 miles per hour. We have so little time. Yeah, but this section here, we run up and down these sort of platforms, dodging the Cybermen, and sort of solving puzzles on the way. Now, the very first time I did this, I died several times. It was really tricky. But I'll explain what might make it easier coming up. Okay, yeah, you have this puzzle here, you make them all green, and then you press triangle. Now, I say press triangle because that's a sort of pressure gauge you see at the top there. That will go down automatically, but when you have the puzzle solved, you can press triangle and it will go down instantly. And I say this is important because time is of the essence here.
Data download in progress.
Oh, come on, River. I imagine this actually being a real pain if you're playing with someone else. I mean, yeah, and skip the ladder, just jump. Wait, hang on. Heck, why will you delete people who will refuse upgrades? You know, honestly, mate, I have to say, but the Borg wouldn't do that. The Borg would just assimilate you automatically.
signal pipe lowered.
Oh, and speaking of which, there is actually a Doctor Who Star Trek The Next Generation crossover comic with the 11th Doctor and Captain Picard of the USS Enterprise D or whatever. And I actually want to give that a read, because for a start, the two villains they use are the Borg and the Cybermen,
They're moving.
which is really good. I think in that continuity they had the Cybermen beat the Borg, which, you know, as much as I like the Cybermen, I think the Borg are just, they seem the same. They seem to be on a lot bigger scale. But then again, the Doctor Who universe has never been quite. We've never really had it mapped out.
That's it. Signal
So the Cybermen, depending on what period of time they could conquer 10 worlds or 100, will be in charge of 1,000,000. I can't really say.
They're not stopping.
Oh no, they're slowly going to get us. Honestly, this is looking at the new fancy Cybermen with their super speed.
right on top of us. Locked. All right, River. You shoot the deadlocks and I'll sonic my way through.
It is the Time Lord known as the Doctor. He must be deleted. Delete.
Keep blasting and
Oh,
I'll sonic.
I did a quite decent run of this. I'm quite far ahead of these guys. And of course, at this point, we get these double locks here. And River has to shoot the lock as well. That's another thing too. You have to tell her where to shoot,
Close these.
and sort of make sure you're standing in the right place to make sure the AI does manage to actually shoot the little deers.
Something bad happened here.
Gas explosion by the looks of it. What a mess.
Oh, hello.
Wait, you can't go up that way. It's not safe. The street is crawling with those robot things. Hide with the others.
Actually, they're
I'm not going
cyborgs.
to abandon these people down
Although
the
here's an
road,
interesting query.
but we're not out
Are
of
they
the woods yet.
cyborgs at this point, or are they
Find a way through
Cymechs?
those railway lines. We have to make
Because the Cymech is essentially a human brain and a robot body. Although at this point, the Cybermen don't seem to realise
power. Electrify
They don't seem to need human parts at all.
Here, take the Sonic. Activate the junction switches. Shot the lines one at a time. Hold them off.
Yay, a minigame. Okay, now this is something which comes up a lot more throughout the rest of the game, particularly in the boss battles. You solve a puzzle as the Doctor, and the amount of time it takes you to solve that puzzle will be the same amount of time River has to solve a minigame. Like you can't see because I've actually put the text over the screen, but you see that counter going up. That sort of records how much time it takes you to complete this puzzle here. I can see it's on like 15 seconds, 16, 17. I'm doing this fairly well. Again, don't be afraid to press triangle if you feel you have it sorted out. And, this is good because 28 seconds, there we go. It took me 28 seconds to solve that puzzle as the Doctor. So, which means that when I play this minigame as River, I'll only have to hold back the Cybermen for 28 seconds. And that's very important because I struggled the very first time I played this game when it comes to the bosses. I think that just came down to the fact that I didn't realise that, to make those bosses easier, I had to be quicker on the puzzles. There you go. The very first time I did this puzzle, it took me like 3 minutes. Because it took me 3 minutes to solve the puzzle as the Doctor. And I was running back and forth as River here, trying to hold these buggers back for 3 minutes. And it was really difficult. But now it's easy. Now that I know that you put the effort into the puzzle bit, that means the part you play as River will be a lot easier. Oh, watch your step, Doctor. Ah, the sonic screwdriver. I sometimes think it would be good if New Doctor Who just blew up the sonic screwdriver to see if they could handle stories without it. But anyway, in the next part, we'll go to the next city streets. It seems pretty dark, but as long as there's life, there's hope.